right, the big news hitting Hollywood this week is the big screen version of Jonny Quest. Unbelievable. This is a classic cartoon from the late 1960s from Hanna-Barbera, the same guys who brought us the Jetsons and the Flintstones. And this was my cartoon when I was a little kid. No, I wasn't, I was born then, but I mean, later on in life, Jonny Quest was like my cartoon. And when you had a Saturday morning and cartoons that were just all like the Flintstones are kind of kooky and comedy and stuff, here came along a primetime cartoon of a young teenage boy who was like almost a young Indiana Jones. And he had a father named Dr. Benton Quest, and along with his best friend Haji, this Hindu kid. And then also they had Race Bannon, who was like his mentor and his tutor. And they went on these incredible adventures, and they were based in science, and they had real fantasy elements to them. They had monsters, and they had lizard men, and just some really cool stuff. And the design by the characters was done by Doug Wildey, who also lived in Las Vegas in his later years of life. And I had the incredible opportunity to meet him and actually kind of befriend him. But he died suddenly. But he gave the look to Jonny Quest that was just totally unlike any other cartoon you've ever seen. So Hanna-Barbera always wanted to hang on to Jonny Quest. They didn't want to do a live action version because, Macaulay Culkin back for Home Alone, and there was, Leslie Nielsen to play Race Bannon. There was all these rumors going around for the last 20, 25 years, but they held on to it. But now, Robert Rodriguez, who does, Spy Kids, he's been signed to direct Jonny Quest, the big screen version. So it's very important for casting because there's all these casting rumors now and people are giving their 2 cents in. So here are my 2 cents who should be cast in the new Jonny Quest movie. The most important, of course, is Jonny Quest himself. And there's a kid on Nickelodeon right now named Jace Norman who's in a show called Henry Danger. If you haven't seen it, it's from Dan Schneider, who brought us iCarly and all these other great Nickelodeon shows. And he really makes these shows not only for kids, but for adults too. So if you haven't seen Henry Danger, it's really funny. But Jace Norman, who plays Henry Danger, he's got comedic timing. He can do action adventure because he plays this superhero sidekick. He would be perfect to play Jonny Quest. He was born to play Jonny Quest. Rodriguez, are you listening? Haji, that's no-brainer there. Tony Revolori, who was in Grand Budapest Hotel. He played Zero. He played, he carried the bags for up and down the hotel. Yeah, that's right. He carried the bags. He was Zero. He would be perfect to play Haji. All right, now it gets kind of complicated. Who's going to play Dr. Benton Quest? Now, if you asked me 10, 15 years ago, Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt not only looks like him, but he's used to doing action adventure from Contact, and he did Alien, the original Alien, it was Dallas. So he looks like Dr. Benton Quest. But now he's 81 years old, so I don't know. I would still give him an audition, give him a call. I'm sure he's waiting. But the person who should play Dr. Quest is Gary Oldman. So Gary Oldman, he played Commissioner Gordon in all the Batman films. And of course, he's, Fifth Element, just an amazing actor. And I think he'd be great as Dr. Quest. All right, going to be a little unconventional with Race Bannon. Yeah, he's traditionally white hair and, white guy playing him. But I think we should really think outside the box because this is the 21st century. We should really have a Race Bannon that's really, really cool. And I'm thinking of Idris Elba. He was just, he was in Pacific Rim. And he's got this commanding presence to him. I think he'd be totally cool to play Race Bannon. All right, those are my picks for the Jonny Quest movie. Super excited about it. I want a set visit. I've already started calling Rodriguez's people and going, hey, I'm coming on the set, right? And if you need any tips, just give me a call. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I'm a big, big fan of Jonny Quest. I've had this poster hanging in my house for the last 25 years, and people have tried to buy it off me for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm like, it is not for sale. No way. Forget it. Okay, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Make sure you pick up my podcast over there on iTunes. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. From Sin City, I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. See you next time.